everybody. Welcome back to the Hello Goddess podcast. I am your host, Mandy Dia. I am a Reiki practitioner and a naturopath. And today we have a special guest. I'm smiling ear to ear because she's such an amazing person, a beautiful energy. Her name is Nina Maglic. She is an energy healer and marketing coach for healers. Hi, Nina.
Hello, Mandy, and hello, everybody who's listening or watching us. I'm super excited to be here today. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Thank you so much for being on the show. I'm super honored to have you. So I would love for you to share your story because you have a very, very unique, inspiring story of resilience. And if you're open to sharing everything you've been through, and I know that everything you've been through has led you to where you are now, creating this beautiful business, helping millions of people around the world.
So, when you go through your upbringing, you always ask yourself, why me? What did I do to you, God, to punish
Yeah.
me like that? I always think this was a huge blessing, and I'm so grateful for every single experience I had in my life because it led me to this path that I'm doing right now. And for everybody who's listening, like I grew up in a war with no electricity, no running water, no food, no money, scared for my life and my family's life. Surviving just one more day was like a winning a lottery, literally like a winning a lottery. And when you think life cannot go any worse, it can. Trust me, every single day you experience something even worse. And when I was going through that experience, I was asking myself, oh my God, why me? Why did I do something to you? I was just a child. And I remember when the war was over, everybody was telling me, like, just keep moving forward, be strong, everything's going to be okay. But then nothing was really okay because that experience I carried through my life was still there. My body remembered trauma, all the fear that you experience when you experience bombarding, like it's the full body experience. And you never forget that. And even though you move forward with your life, certain parts of you are still there in the childhood. And that trauma caused me to become sick when I was an adult. And I was really, really looking for a solution to my pain because I had enormous pain in my abdominal area. I had bad cramps. And every time I had a cramp, I was like paralyzed for 1 hour. I couldn't do anything. I couldn't move. I was just laying down on the floor praying it's going to be over soon. And as soon as it stopped, it began again. It was like, oh my God, what's happening? Will it ever get better? And I did all blood tests, all like body scans, and we were looking for the reason, but nobody could find the reason why. And in one moment, they told me it's going to take us years to find the root cause of your problem. That really was my rock bottom. I said, I cannot live like this one more day. It's just like, this is not life. And I remember leaving the hospital, devastating, crying. Like I had nothing else to lose because I lost my health. I couldn't work anymore because that pain didn't allow me to even walk properly. And I was on the tram going back home because I live in Vienna. We use like public transportation because it's amazing here in Vienna. I love it so much. And we I was on my home back. I was on my way back home, and there was like a moment when I said, maybe this is something that traditional medicine cannot solve. Maybe my body is telling me something that they cannot really encode. Maybe the solution is somewhere else. And I was so desperate that I was like, "Oh, I will do whatever it takes just to get my health back." And I remember the movie that I watched called Heal, and they were explaining how they used to like alternative methods to help people heal. And I was like, maybe that's it. Maybe that's it. And I was sitting on a tram going back home, and I was like, well, let me schedule a call with an energy healer. I was learning about energy healing since I was 14 years old, like, but I never thought that this is so powerful. Like I knew how to do chakra balancing and even practice it with my grandmother, but I never thought that this is going to change my life. And I scheduled a call with an energy healer. And in just 2 sessions, I was pain-free. And
Mm.
I was like, that changed my whole life. And I said, I want to know what you know. I want to be able to help myself anytime I need it. I never ever want to beg for help. And that was for me, I want to help myself. And I started doing energy healing courses. I started practicing like crazy person. Like I was practicing 10 to 14 hours per day. And all of a sudden, people from courses that I attended starts referring me their friends and family members. And there was a point when I realized I'm fully booked in advance, like weeks in advance. This is not a hobby anymore. This is a business. And this is how everything started. This is how everything changed. And then I like, while I was becoming a healer, before I became actually a healer, I was working in marketing, doing marketing campaigns for Fortune 500 companies and small businesses. And now I'm doing healing. Like people were coming to me asking me, what's wrong with you? Why did you do this? Like what changed? Like, and I felt trapped between two worlds. I didn't belong fully to healing. I didn't belong fully to marketing. I found myself in between. And then I like my brain was telling me like, what did you do? Like, are you crazy? Like, you left successful marketing career to do healing. And my heart was telling me, you have to pursue this path. And like, because your brain wants to keep you safe and your heart wants you to fully experience yourself and wants you to really live life full of joy and fulfillment. And I decided to follow my heart, even though it was really scary. And it took me really on a path beyond my wildest dreams. And I'm really super grateful for every single experience I had in my life. And this is how I
Wow.
combine marketing and healing together because while I was building my business, I help other healers build their businesses too.
Mm.
And this is how everything started.
Well, you made me tear up a bit when you said like you're so grateful because that is such a powerful story. Your story is so amazing and so inspiring because you really went through it when you were growing up. Like this was war. It doesn't get w worse than this in the world. You know, you experienced so much trauma and you were able to have this journey overcome that. You know, it's like the hero's journey. That's kind of like how I see it. You really went through the darkness and came out in the light. And and I would love to learn more about we talked a little bit about this on your podcast earlier as well, but I would love to learn a little bit more about your spiritual awakening. And you talked a little bit about how your stomach pain led you to go to energy healing. And that is, it's so powerful because there's a lot of things that modern medicine cannot cure. And then people, they were like, they're desperate and they want to find another way to heal. And then they go to alternative medicine and realize that there is so much more than just the physical body. There's the
Yeah.
energy behind it. So I would love to learn more about your spiritual awakening and how that led to you to go into energy healing.
Yeah, one of my first experiences with energy healing was when I was 14 years old, when the war was over. A lot of people from Eastern countries came to us to bring peace and healing to my country. And I started learning about chakra balancing. Even though my country, Bosnia and Herzegovina, is the country where energy healer are completely normal and people usually go to them, I never thought that I could be a healer. I thought they're special. I'm not
Mm.
special. I don't have any special gifts. They are special. But yeah, I was just like thinking, like, I'm just playing with this. This is so amazing. And this is like connected with yoga and meditation. And I was so into that. And I really, really loved it. When I had like that session with a healer, I started learning about intuition, how to
Mm.
really start paying attention to my body. What does my body tell me all the time? And that this is what really helped me with my clients because I was able to connect with them to see what they experienced and see exact moment when that happened and to be able to help them with that, the real reason of their suffering and pain. And yeah, and then I started practicing a lot of rays of lights, sacred geometries, and I've really loved them. I really love rays of lights.
Mm.
They're great tools to heal and
Mm.
learn. and also connecting just to the God's energy, to universal energy that is available to us, that was always inside of us, but we just didn't know about that.
Mhm.
And that was a really huge experience. And then there was a moment when I was sitting in meditation, asking my soul, like, who am I? What I'm here
Mhm.
for? What is my purpose? And there was a moment when I saw like our Earth, and we were all connected around that Earth. That was a net of us. Like every single being on that planet was connected. Every um, every like human being, plants, animals, we were all connected. And then I
Mhm.
experienced like that we are just one
Mhm. Mhm.
energy. And whatever I do helps others as well. They're
Mhm.
like every single movement somebody makes like brings us like further and further
Mhm.
in our knowing, in our experiences, and in our awakening.
Mhm. Thank you so much for sharing that. And I think, you know, a lot of people will relate. Maybe they haven't been through an experience of war, but maybe they have experienced war within themselves, a war within their family. That energy of darkness, that energy of violence, and uh, that's sometimes it's kind of like an elastic band. That's kind of how I see it, where it stretches back to be able to propel so much more forward. That momentum that creates that desire, that creates to bring love into the world and to, develop your spiritual gifts. And I love what you were saying about dropping into your body and, feeling all of your senses, because I think what happens in our modern society, we're very much mental and over analyzing, overthinking our problems and putting so much energy there where we're losing our spiritual intuition, which is natural to every being. You can see it in nature. They don't even have to speak and they are able to communicate with each other. And so it's such a beautiful thing, because once you are able to connect with yourself and, like you were saying, connect with your heart, then you see, okay, what do I really want? Like, what am I here for? The question, why am I here? I asked myself this question so many times as well, so I can really relate to that part of your story.
Yeah. And as
Yeah.
you mentioned, like we are conditioned to live out in the outside world, but there is such a beautiful world inside us. And
Mm-hmm.
even though some people are going through suffering and pain, which we all can relate to that, like we all had that experience in life. But I want to just give the listeners a message that you are not your pain, you are not your suffering, and you have a choice to change your life. I know it sounds like a scary, I know it sounds like a mission impossible right now, but every single small step leads you to better life. Just start taking small actions.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it feels scary, even if it feels, oh my God, what I'm doing, like everybody's going to think I'm crazy. Start doing things that make you happy,
Mm-hmm.
and start really working on your emotions, because there's nothing more powerful than experiencing liberation from that pain and suffering. When you're able to go back to that memory and don't have any emotional attachment to that. You see it as you see the wall, but there's no emotions to that. And that's for me the liberation. And I want to give everybody a message that whatever you experience right now in your life, you can change your life and make it even better.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much for saying that. I have chills when you say that. It's so true. And I think, you know, I can even sense that some people listening to this episode right now, they might feel like they don't have the power to change their lives, but they absolutely do. It's all, it's a belief that we think that we can't, but we absolutely can do and change our whole lives, one step at a time, and slowly going outside of our comfort zone, changing things slowly, and then you realize like, wow, I have so much potential.
Yeah. And there's also one more thing that we need to mention too. Like when you experience pain and suffering, you think pain and suffering is part of your life, is who you are. And
Mm,
that's not true.
mhm,
And it's hard for people to let it go. And I remember that experience when my healer said to me, you need to let it go. I said, like, if I'm going to let it go, I will not be me, and I cannot do that. And I wish I could go back to that time and say myself, like, let go to become. because you're becoming such a better version. You have to let that go because we hold so much onto old version of us that doesn't exist
Hmm.
anymore.
Hmm.
And we hold us back and we put some limits on us because of the version of us that doesn't really exist.
Brilliantly
And
said.
that's so important for people to understand that you are not your pain, you're not your suffering, and you can have a better life if you
Mm-hmm.
choose to.
Yeah, I love what you said about people like it's a very common human experience to identify with our story, with our pain, and think like, who am I beyond that? Like, if I let this go, yes, it's still part of your memory, but if I let this go emotionally, I don't know who I am anymore. But that's where the beauty is. When you're able
Mm.
to overcome, that feeling of identifying with that pain, and then you dis rediscover who you truly are beyond that.
Yes.
Mm. Yes, and I love your story of suffering to liberation is so inspiring. And it's like you are demonstrating it to a huge, like it's such a huge scale that you're showing to people like, and it doesn't matter what you've been through. If you're experiencing darkness in your life or you have experienced darkness, this isn't the end, it's the beginning for you,
Yeah,
And
definitely. That is rebirth, I will call it.
yes, re I love that word, rebirth. I would love for you to talk a little bit about your current business with marketing, helping healers, because that's such a unique and beautiful career that you have.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I help healers expand their reach, help more people and serve humanity on much different scale. Because I truly believe because we have these gifts and we were given these gifts by the universe and we should do something. We were given these gifts for purpose to serve humanity and change the world. And my passion about marketing and healing is something I combined because before I became a healer, I was a marketer. I had a completely different career than I have right now. And when I became a healer, I realized that I cannot box myself into one world. And this is who I am. I'm a marketer for healers. And I
Mhm.
live that and love that. For me, the most important thing that I share the knowledge what is really working in the healing industry because healing industry ticks a little bit different because you have to understand your clients on much deeper level that's in the same industry. But with healing, you deal with people's pain.
Mhm.
And I always say we have to provide illuminated experience to our clients because when people go through darkness, you have to share your light so people can see you and people can get impressed by that and people can see that light at the end of the tunnel so and they can reach out to you. There's no need for aggressive sales techniques or like people know how to buy. That's the number one.
Mhm.
People are smart and they know how to buy. But what people really need is belief in themselves that they can do it. Believe to give them back them dreams and hopes and beliefs in themselves. That's what people need. And this is when marketing is done right. This is something what you can do very well. And good marketing feels like a heart-to-heart conversation with your best friend
Mhm.
and selling is just like helping your clients solve the biggest problems, they're hoping and praying to get solved. And it's an act of service.
Mhm.
And marketing is just your tool to get that message across to your potential clients so they can understand what you're doing and how you can help them. That's all about. Marketing is not really something bad and scary and evil. It's just really explaining people how you can help them.
Mhm.
And people
Mhm.
want help. They are looking for help. They are looking for solution. And you need to explain that in the way that they can understand. Because very often I see huge mismatch what healers believe is the problem because what clients believe is the problem is completely different because very often like I will give you an example but clients comes to you they usually say to you like yeah I have a long to-do list my boss is a jerk he drives me crazy he does this and this and like but what you see as a healer is oh my client has an unhealed wound that
Mhm.
triggers that was triggered by that boss.
Mhm.
Let's see what's happening there. And if you start talking to your potential clients about unhealed wounds and all kind of stuff, they will not understand it because they think problem is the boss. He is the jerk. I'm
Hmm.
fine, but my boss is the jerk. And
Hmm.
if you talk in that language that they can really understand why your boss gives you such a long to-do list and all kind of things that they can understand it because this is the problem they're coming to you. And we all know this is just the like tip of iceberg of their problems
Hmm.
because the reason is much something completely different. It's really unhealed wounds and all kind of things that are happening inside of us. And we see world through our lenses
Hmm.
of unhealed wounds. And that's the reason why we get triggered by certain people because, yeah, we have that
Hmm.
energy inside of us.
Hmm. And it's so beautiful that you were able to merge the marketing aspect of your life and the healing and create something completely unique to you. And I love what you're saying about the language because sometimes there's a barrier there where people, healers want to help, but they don't know how to communicate what they offer. And the clients may be looking for a healer, but they don't know where to look. So the marketing is kind of like the bridge in between the both worlds where healers are able to create space and hold space for their clients to heal. And so true about the triggers. Oh my goodness, this is something that I've seen in my life and in my clients' life as well. So a trigger will come over and over again in their lives, and they want to point the finger. This is their problem, but really, if you look back and sit with yourself, you might notice there's a wound there. Yeah,
Yeah.
and
And you also notice when you start healing yourself, when you start healing your own wounds, you will notice that people respond to you differently.
yeah, 100%.
Even the person that used to trigger you, um, doesn't trigger you anymore.
It's crazy, but it's true. It
Yeah,
is.
because and they can say whatever they want, and it's like, I don't care who you are and what you
Yeah.
do. Like,
Mm.
it doesn't really affect me
Yeah.
anymore. And that's the beauty of healing because
Mhm.
we all get triggered a lot of times. And as you mentioned to us, like the wound is going to show up again and again until we heal that. Maybe it's going to show up in the form of boss, partner, friend, family member, but it's going to show up again and again until we heal that. And the moment when you heal, that's the liberation that I'm talking about. Like people will not trigger you, you will go through life and you will uh, um, attract much better people that are going to match your vibration because when your energy changes, when you vibrate at a higher level, you will attract high vibe people.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And I think for me, that is the spiritual path to be able to heal your wounds because the universe doesn't hate you. It's not bringing you pain because it hates you. It's showing you where you need to heal. It's showing
Yeah.
you where, your darkness lies, where you can infuse that light and become a better version of yourself.
Definitely. Yes, I
Mm.
agree with that because universe doesn't want you to suffer, doesn't want you to be broke. Universe wants you to thrive and want that's why it's giving you such a great gift since every single experience is just a gift. And when you see that as that and you ask yourself, what did I learn from that experience? You will
Mm.
see that that gift is much bigger than pain.
Mm. I
And
love that
that's
question. What can I learn from this is a very powerful question.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
there's also a gift process that I love to use. Like
Hmm.
on one, I take a piece of paper. On one side, I've read all negative experiences that I had in my life. And on the other side of the paper, I've read how this experience made me much better, stronger, and wiser. And
Hmm.
you will see that every single experience, even though it was the worst experience of your life, had taught you something, had brought you something that is much more valuable than and it has changed your life in a positive way. Let's say it
Hmm.
like that.
Absolutely, absolutely. And doing that personal work, even having a journal and asking these questions. Like you said, gratitude, like being grateful for the good and the bad in your life because everything is bringing you closer to where you want to be and who you want to become. Such a powerful conversation. Thank you so much, Nina, for sharing your wisdom. And I honestly love you. Like, let's be friends because I love having a conversation with you. And I hope our listeners are enjoying this as well. So we are at the end of the episode already. I have two more powerful questions for you, and I'm so excited to see what you're gonna say. So if you could go back in time and speak to your younger self at any moment, what would you say?
So first of all, let me say something. I'm truly honored and thank you so much for having me on your podcast. And I'm super excited to be connected because the first time I saw you, I said I have to connect with this
Oh,
lady. She has an amazing energy and I want to be part of that energy because
oh,
it feels just amazing, beautiful,
likewise.
uplifting energy. And I was really happy that I was given a chance to meet you.
Oh,
And if I could go back to the time and give advice to my younger self, I would say to her, let go to become. Let go to become.
mm,
And you don't have to have all answers right now.
mm,
Trust that you're doing your best and everything's going to be right.
mm. Powerful. Yes. And if you're listening, maybe you need to hear that right now. Let go to become and trust. Everything's happening for a reason. Everything is happening at the right time. Yes. And what is your definition of a goddess?
I think definition of goddess, for me, I believe this is the right explanation from my point of view, is a person who fully stepped into her purpose and embodied it. That's it. She's not more powerful than anybody else. She's not better. She just fully stepped into her soul purpose and fully living it.
Mm, yeah, I love that. And I love how you said, like, you know, stepping into your power, you're not better or worse than anybody else. Everybody has worth and value, and everybody has this unique, like, light. And
Yes. And
stepping into that.
everybody has this opportunity. I think for some people it takes much longer to step fully into their life purpose, but we will, like every single person of us is going to eventually step fully into our soul purpose and start living it. Some people start that earlier, some people start that at the end of the life, but it doesn't matter. It's your divine timing, and
Mhm.
that's something that matters the most.
Hmm. Extremely true. Yeah, everybody has their own unique journey and mission, you know, very unique mission to everybody. Thank you so much, Nina. And I would love for you to share where people can connect with you because I know people will want to have a conversation with you.
So you can connect with me on my website, ninamaglic.com. I have there also marketing tips for healers and free resources to help you with your business. You can also reach out to me on Instagram. I am Nina Maglic. And if you need anything like healing, I also have a free meditations I'm giving away for free to everybody, like manifest anything you want. So detox, a morning meditation, evening meditation. I'm just
Love
giving
that.
everything away for
Yeah.
free to people to enjoy and have a better life. And if you're looking to work with me on your next marketing campaign or in your business, I also want to announce that I'm going to have a book published very soon, Healing Millions, Heal,
Wow.
Earn, and Impact Millions Doing the Work You Love. And that's my sole project. I'm giving away a lot of tips how to build successful healing business step by step with a lot
Mm,
of ease and clarity. And the book includes a lot of workbooks, audio version of the book is also included. And of course, all money collected during the book launch is going to be fully donated to Children's Hospital Santa Ana in Vienna, specialized in helping kids with cancer. And that's something that's a
oh,
sole project for me because I always believe when you have a business, you have responsibility to serve humanity as well. And I want to give back
mm,
to our community. And
mm,
also, for everybody who buys that book gets also 3-day workshop with me because
mm,
I really want to make sure that you implement everything and that you have successful healing business because I
mm,
cannot heal the world alone, but together we can change the world. And every
mm,
single person on this planet has their own purpose, and I think we can do such a great things for humanity if we are united to do what our souls want us to do.
Mm. Yes, and I want to applaud you for all the work you're doing to help people and to donate and giving away this free stuff and your services are amazing as well. So I really really am thankful for you and hats off to you for doing all your work in the world. It's really amazing.
Thank you, Maddie. Thank you. I'm so
Hmm.
honored to be here today and share my message with people. And I truly hope I can inspire them to heal, to step fully into their soul purpose. And if they have a healing business, to really expand their reach and help more people, because this mission is not about me and you. This mission
Hmm.
is for humanity. We're just tools to get that message across. But this mission is not really about us. It's much bigger than you and me.
Absolutely. Everybody listening at home, driving, at the gym, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you, Nina, for being on the show. And I'm sending you all of the love, all of the light, and the Reiki energy.
Thank you so
Bye.